Hola amigos de Perlas Cristianas, estamos aquí en una entrega más de Perlas Cristianas y hoy es para comentar pues una noticia que a lo largo de la semana ha sido importante dentro de los Estados Unidos, dentro del mundo católico. Dentro del programa de la ewtn en profundidad, presentado por Monse Alvarado, nos han informado de las circunstancias en las que, pues dentro de una celebración deportiva se ha producido de forma que ha habido pues una situación en la que estamos en el mes del orgullo gay y, como no podía ser de otra manera, pues han empezado a haber todo tipo de celebraciones, y una de ellas ha sido pues una celebración de un grupo de travestidos en los que han manifestado que ellos también pertenecen a la Iglesia. Y evidentemente que cualquier travestido puede formar parte de la Iglesia, porque todos los que estamos en la Iglesia somos pecadores y todo el mundo puede ser aceptado. La homosexualidad, lo repiten los sacerdotes una y otra vez, no es un pecado, sino el consentimiento a ser homosexual, consentimiento al acto sexual. Igual que en la situación en la que uno puede tener una debilidad por el dinero, pues tiene debilidad por el dinero, pero pues es algo que tendrá que presentarle al Señor para vivir con Él e intentar no caer en esa situación. A lo largo del programa de En Profundidad se han dado miles de argumentos en torno a lo que sería esa situación, y se ha recordado qué sería de esa situación si lo mismo se hubiera producido pues de esa forma irrespetuosa ante la comunidad judía o ante la comunidad musulmana. Evidentemente que no hubiera habido el silencio comunitario como lo ha habido en esta situación. Incluso tenemos que aceptar los católicos de que esa situación la tenemos que silenciar y callar el aplauso de aquellos que quieren manifestar de forma permanente que el ser en contra de la Iglesia Católica es lo in y que estar en la Iglesia Católica es lo out. Pero los católicos tenemos muy claro que el seguir a Cristo solo tiene un camino. No puede haber una ambigüedad, no puede haber... Y todos lo sabemos porque cuando nos acercamos al sacramento de la reconciliación, cuando nos acercamos al sacerdote, que es representación del mismo Cristo, y nos da el sacramento de la reconciliación, nos da el perdón y la absolución, sabemos perfectamente que estamos acudiendo al mismo Cristo para perdonar nuestros pecados. Y esa es nuestra realidad, acercarnos al mismo Cristo para redimirnos. Dentro de la realidad social que nos ocupa, los católicos tenemos y debemos saber que tenemos el mismo derecho a ser respetados que cualquier otra etnia, cualquier otro grupo, cualquier otra religión, y no tenemos por qué estar callados ante situaciones en las que prácticamente se intenta hacer mofa y befa de lo que es el ser católico. Ya sé que para muchos el ser católico es casposo, es antiguo, pero lo importante no es si es ser casposo o no, sino que los que estamos dentro de la Iglesia Católica caminamos simple y llanamente en busca de la verdad. Buscamos ser libres, y para eso hemos escogido a nuestro Maestro, que es Jesús, Cristo, el crucificado, que murió por nuestros pecados, y en esa cruz es donde estamos todos salvos. Todos, y cuando digo todos, es todos. Nadie que está dentro de la Iglesia Católica piensa en ningún momento que es mejor ni que es más santo que el que no está, porque tenemos mucho cuidado de atender aquella circunstancia en las que, por pecado de presunción o pecado de caer en la desesperación, no entremos al Señor. No entremos a esa situación en la que le pidamos al mismo Jesús que nos perdone nuestros pecados. Nosotros, los que vivimos dentro de la Iglesia y dentro de esta sociedad democrática, y que de alguna forma las minorías están continuamente intentando socavar nuestra realidad, pues tenemos que aceptar de que es una parte más de nuestra cruz. Pero lo hacemos de forma digna, lo hacemos de forma cívica, lo hacemos de forma democrática, pero reclamando nuestra presencia y el derecho a ser respetados. A lo largo de todo el programa de En Profundidad de Monse Alvarado en la ewtn se presentan testimonios de diferentes tipos, y ustedes lo pueden oír colocando en YouTube el traductor y entenderán cuáles son los argumentos. Incluso ha habido un jugador dentro de la liga en la que hizo un comentario acerca de esta situación en la que este grupo, que tiene algo así como las hermanas del Sagrado Perdón, pues pretendían manifestar que, bueno, pues que esa era una realidad. No sé. Lo cierto es que dentro de la sociedad moderna que nos ha tocado vivir, pues tenemos que entender que el ser católico pues es una parte más de esos grupos de presión que pretenden traducir absolutamente todo a unos valores diferentes a los que han construido nuestra sociedad y los que nos han permitido llegar aquí. No sabemos si este nuevo orden que intentan colocar o esas minorías será el orden establecido para los próximos siglos. No tenemos ni idea. Lo que sí sabemos es que los que estamos dentro de la Iglesia Católica, lo único que pretendemos es caminar en verdad para llegar a la libertad. Y eso es Jesucristo. Jesucristo resucitado. Jesús, el Nazareno, el Hijo de María, que vino a este mundo, se encarnó nuestro Dios en un hombre, en esa naturaleza. Se encarnó y eso quiere decir que fue concebido. Y eso quiere decir que fue concebido en el seno de una mujer. Y eso quiere decir que el seno de una mujer en la concepción es sagrado para todo católico. Y esa es nuestra realidad y no creemos que lo puedan cambiar por mucha mofa y befa que quieran hacer sobre nosotros. Lo que sí tenemos claro los católicos, que en la medida que tenemos los derechos civiles y tenemos derecho a ser respetados, lo haremos. En profundidad de Monsalvarado se deja muy claro que esas situaciones no son más que una pobreza más de los que intentan hacer risas a costa de la Iglesia Católica. Pero entendemos que la Iglesia Católica es mucho más, porque la Iglesia Católica es indefectiblemente una parte del mismo Cristo, con lo cual no hay nada que pueda con él. Así que, hermanos de fe, hermanos hijos de Dios y hermanos, en lo civil, os pedimos que allí donde estéis hagáis respetar y le pidáis a la gente que respete a todos aquellos que somos Iglesia Católica, porque la Iglesia Católica está realizando un bien social permanentemente. Permanentemente quiere decir que atiende la Iglesia Católica las necesidades de miles de pobres. Y no quiere decir eso que se justifique la existencia de la Iglesia Católica con esa acción, pero sí que evidencia que la Iglesia Católica está para construir sociedad de forma positiva y permanente. Así que, amigos, ya saben, en profundidad, ewtn, Monse Alvarado, nos recalca la importancia de la Iglesia Católica. Vivir en catolicidad es vivir en verdad. Hasta la siguiente. Gracias por seguir Perlas Cristianas y ya saben, denle a YouTube, al traductor y escucharán el programa íntegro de En Profundidad de Monse Alvarado en la ewtn. Chao.
And like I said, that's been read 19 million times. Trevor, why did you feel so strongly that you wanted to make that statement?
It had to be said. We cannot stand idly by while our Lord gets mocked. And before I hit send, you try and do as much research as you can, right? You see the horrific videos that were posted of them. You read about what they were trying to do, these things that are deeply offensive to us. And then you see that, well, they're doing these things. They're raising money for this, that, and the other. They've been doing it for over 30 years. But it was the point when the Dodgers re-invited them after knowing very well what they've been doing for the last 30 years.
To give them a Community Hero Award.
Correct. And at that point, I looked at the Dodgers Code of Conduct. I'm like, look, or the Dodgers Fan Code of Conduct, and it said you cannot wear anything or say anything that goes against anybody's age, gender, creed, religion. And at that point, it was like, this is going against their code of conduct. It's a blatant anti-Catholic message that they're sending, regardless of how much, quote unquote, good they've been doing in their community. But when I saw how deeply offensive it was, doing awful things to the cross, doing awful things about Stations of the Cross, like it became a point where these negatives are not, they shouldn't be honored, and they shouldn't mock a certain group.
Because you did say in that statement as well that you believe all groups should be welcomed and respected when it comes to Major League Baseball. So this group specifically, the group who call themselves the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, what is it, if we get to the core of it, that you believe is mocking your Catholic faith?
Yeah, I think if anyone with two eyes and a brain can see that they're mocking the religious habits of nuns. They're mocking what we hold most deeply and what are our core convictions. They're blatantly mocking it. When you look at it from the outside in a totally objective view, it's blatant mockery.
Now, the group who called themselves the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, they released a statement. It was before your statement, but in response to the backlash from Catholics. They said that they're not anti-Catholic, but they're an organization based on love, acceptance, and celebrating human diversity. And in terms of dressing up in drag and mocking Catholic nuns, the group said that its members use humor and irreverent wit to expose the forces of bigotry, complacency, and guilt that chain the human spirit. What do you think of their response?
If they are preaching these things on tolerance and love, you could look at this from an objective point of view and say that this isn't out of love. When you go out of your way to desecrating a crucifix or dancing on what appears to be Jesus on a cross, that isn't
representing
out of love.
The crucifixion, the most important moment for Christians all over the world.
And what we hold to most dear, we look at the cross and the crucifixion and we see that Jesus dying for us and his blood soaking us and washing us of our sin. And for someone to do that because they say it's art and it's out of love and tolerance, it doesn't make sense.
Trevor, do you see hypocrisy here when you look at how Catholics are treated in the United States? Because if you just imagine a group making fun of a Jewish rabbi and the Torah, or a Muslim and the Quran, what the reaction would be to that.
I would hope that they wouldn't be allowed at that stadium. I would hope. But there seems to be this, it's okay to make fun of Christianity in general and Catholicism in particular.
20 million views, almost 19 million views. Are you surprised by how many people have read and engaged with the statement that you put up on Twitter?
My intention with that statement was to get as many eyeballs on it as possible, and for people to see the hypocrisy that I was trying to point out of what the Dodgers were doing. And I hit send tweet and I threw my phone and I was like, I logged out and I'm like, we'll see how it does. We'll see how it does. And but I've had a lot of people come out and reach out to me, former teammates, current teammates, even like stadium workers. When we were at Dodger Stadium, when this statement was made, just walking through the tunnels, getting to the clubhouse, I had stadium workers come up to me and thank me. So a lot of people have reached out, thanking me for my courage and thanking me for making this statement, because a lot of people feel like they either don't have a big enough voice to say something, or they're afraid of the backlash.
When you speak about the backlash and having courage to do this, most of the people, if you read through the comments, are supporting you. But then there are those who are saying things like homophobic and transphobic, and you just have a problem with that, the LGBT group. First of all, what do you say to those accusations?
I didn't say anything anti-pride in my statement. I tried to be as charitable as possible. I truly just wanted to point out the hypocrisy that the Dodgers Code of Conduct says you cannot make fun of a group, yet we're honoring this group at the expense of making fun of this group.
So your issues with the mockery they're making of your faith.
Correct. And the mockery of it, and then the Dodgers not following their own rules. So that was truly my statement. If you read into it any other way, that's on you. But
were you afraid of the possible ramifications of being cancelled? We see people lose everything over a tweet or an opinion that they put online. You were putting your neck out there when a lot of other players are not. Were you worried?
I wasn't necessarily worried, because this is something that I believe is truth, right? And it's something that this is Trevor the Catholic man tweeting this. What I did, I believed was true, and I had to stick up for our truth. And at the end of the day, baseball is important, and it's given me a lot of tremendous opportunities. It's a privilege to play this game, and I'm thankful for everyone who's given me an opportunity. But when I die, hopefully in a state of grace, and St. Peter greets me at the gates, he's not going to ask what your win-loss record was in 2023. He's just going to, how did you build the kingdom of heaven? And being in a position like this, being a Major League Baseball player, and my religion being mocked in the realm of Major League Baseball, it only made sense to stick up for my truth.
You said that people were coming up to you on the street or in the baseball stadium saying well done. And what about your teammates, your peers?
I've had really good conversations with teammates about this. Again, people thanking me, teammates thanking me for what I could be done, what I did. It's something that most people and most players are supportive of.
What would you say to people, Trevor, who are Catholics? They might not call themselves devout Catholics, but they're fans of the LA Dodgers. They love going to the games. They just want to watch the games. They don't want to get involved in all that. They see it as an argument happening for other people somewhere else, but they're still Catholics. Maybe they go to Mass every Sunday. They find themselves in a bind.
Sure.
They want to keep supporting their team. They like their faith. They like their church. What do they do?
I think it's a valid question, and it's something that a lot of families and individuals are going to have over the next, hopefully, weeks, months. But that's the point of a statement like this, is to start the conversation. It starts with not attending that game. It starts with potentially reconsidering where you put your dollars. I think there is a longing for truth. I think everyone has that desire to find truth, and I've noticed it in locker rooms in my entire life, in clubhouses my entire life, being with teammates of the same age or similar ages. There is a desire for truth, and that desire comes from within, from someone who loves you immensely. And you are loved more than you can imagine or more than you know. And that inkling of truth that you want to go seek and find is out there, and it's within Christ and his church.
Hey, Trevor, great meeting you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.